Well, hello to all of you from around the world. I want to welcome you again to another beautiful edition of Soulivity Today, broadcasting live from our studio in the nation's capital here in Washington, D.C., and on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. My name is Brian Westley Johnson, and we have an amazing show for you today. But before I get to that show, I want to make sure that I introduce to you my wonderful and talented co-host, Sheila Applegate and D'Angelo Thompson. Hey, good morning to both of you.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
And there is so much happening here in the United States, guys. We've got all these trials happening with the former president that is just mind-blowing. I was up on, was it Tuesday night? Was it Tuesday that they announced? Or was it Wednesday? Or
Yes,
Monday?
I
I can't
believe so.
remember.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday. It was Monday
Oh,
night.
was it Monday?
Monday night, right?
Oh, because we're on Wednesday.
Yeah, right. I was up. First they were announcing that the grand jury was closing down, and they were about to announce whether or not they had the indictment and da. And then I was like, okay, I got to get to sleep because I've got to get up. I've got to get up in the morning. And it was just crazy. And now all the other news. I am kind of confused about some of the coverage where people are being critical. Have you heard that they've been critical of DA Fani Willis and not of the special counsel? Like basically they're saying that that she's overcharging him, but I don't see that. But anyway, just that was just kind of on my mind this morning. I was like, I wonder if Sheila or D'Angelo.
I feel like they just go searching the minority to have the conflict in our reporting. So
you know what? I think that is true, Sheila. I think that is true, where it's all about
it's a distraction.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Do you
All of
agree?
it is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I think all of it is a distraction, actually, because what's that saying? He who casts the first stone. In the world of politics as we know it, not only within the U.S. but around the world, we cannot cast stones because there's a lot of guilt in the room. So I'll leave it at that.
And I will say this before we move on. Just found out today, there's a news report that came out that surprise for all of you who watched Gomer Powell back in the day, that he didn't pay any of the attorneys that were part of the January 6th insurrection. He made $250 million. He raised that amount. He didn't pay anybody.
Wow.
But he's never paid anyone.
I know. That's why I was like,
that. He's known for not paying anyone. Right.
Anywho, let's get to today's show, shall we? Guys, I'm big on this. Everyone is born with dreams and being and doing better in their lives. But sometimes it feels like reaching those dreams is impossible. Check this out. According to a study by Reliable Plan, only 20% of people set goals for themselves. Can't believe that. Which means that 80% of people don't set goals. And out of the 20% of people who do set goals, only about 30% of people succeed. That means only 6% out of all people achieve their goals, regardless of whether or not they set them or not. So I was thinking today that we thought we would, supercharge that part of yourself with some much needed inspiration, talking about the people who are doing extraordinary things, around the world. So in truth, people who have goals for themselves are 10 times more likely to succeed than those that don't. Guys, I found this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person on a show earlier this week, and I want to share it with people, with our audience. It's from the BBC. Her name is Lucy Edwards, and Well, let's just find out why she's so extraordinary.
All Pajeta.
Leaving the city far behind, we reach Olpejeta, a 90,000-acre conservancy located on the equator in central Kenya and home to some of the big five, including lions. This is where I'm hoping to have a first encounter with the animals that have made Kenya a top safari destination. The smell is different here, as are the sounds. I'm told 60 to 70 lions called Olpejeta home, but with many endangered species also living here, it's important to keep a track on the lions and check they aren't preying on any of the rare animals.
We have managed to put a collar on one of the lionesses' neck, and once we're able to track and find that one lioness, we'll be able to see the other members. So this is a sample collar.
Can I have a feel?
Yeah, you can have a feel. Yeah. It's not that heavy. You know, the lions are strong because we have the GPS tracking machine. And then I'm going to put it on so as you can hear the sound which comes from it. Once the machine communicates with the collar, this sound will change to a kind of a heartbeat.
An elephant. So these two are young males. They're very close. I want you to listen to them because they're eating grass just close to me. So
That's so beautiful.
yes.
It's making me cry. I feel really emotional.
How
I don't
cool
know.
is that?
I haven't been able to
Wow.
watch documentaries in years about nature, and they used to be my favourite. So it's really sweet. Thank you so much, Will. It's really lovely that I can hear them in real life. I didn't know it would make me this emotional.
Okay. It's good you can hear them.
Yeah,
It's a good moment for me.
yeah,
I really feel it inside of my heart.
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing with me, because it means the world to me that you're talking to me about all of this amazing culture around you. Because it's just so special, because I can't see it, I can hear them. So yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So I hope we'll see more.
Yeah, hopefully.
And I want you to listen and smell the environment.
Yeah,
And I'll try my level best to teach you
yeah.
whatever I have inside my
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
And whatever I know, I will try my level best
Sounds amazing.
to do that. I will.
Safari is said to be a game of chance, and you aren't always going to be lucky and find what you set out to seek. But when it feels like all hope is lost,
No. Faint. Louder. So they're in between this direction.
I know that the lions won't get me, but do they come close to the car? Can you hear them? There's so many things running through my head at the minute.
when the signal is strong enough, Samuel is allowed to take his vehicle off-road.
They are
Do
there.
you? You see them? Oh, I can hear her. I guess she's breathing quite heavily, isn't she?
So we have two female lions. We have one which is called Lucy. So this is Lucy. Yeah, behind you.
How far away?
Is very, very close. And Vanessa is just on the branches sleeping. So there are two sisters. And there's a cub. Lucy's cub is just right in front of you just about 6 meters just from here. Lions are like cats. Daytime, they are sleeping. They hunt early in the morning or at night.
Does she look like the Lion King? That she would come out the Lion King, because that's the last memory of lions I
Yes,
have.
yes, she looks like the Lion King. Yes, she does. And the cub that we see there looks like exactly like the cub which was in Lion King.
Oh.
Exactly.
I don't really look at photos like everybody else, and I don't remember things through looking at a photo. I would remember the sound of that bird and remember the time I spent here. I'm going to take an audio recording tonight.
Woo! I love that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I saw that, guys, and was just blown away. D'Angelo, you're already talking about it. What was your first reaction when you saw Lucy Edwards?
I just think that, like many of us, we're not blind, but she's tapping into all her senses in this experience, and that is really beautiful and divine. And I'm getting a little emotional just saying it. I love her joy,
Yeah.
you know, her gratitude for everything around her. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, Sheila? What was your reaction to it?
Well, I had a lot of reactions, but one of the things that stands out for me is what we were saying, that she's doing so much for herself and for the world, not only by clearly she lost her sight when she was a child. So that's very different than someone who's born into blindness. And there's a lot of grief and sadness involved in that, and it comes out later in the videos. But she was able to overcome that and to find that hope in herself and the purpose, because it's not just about following her dream and going on the safari. I think it's interesting that one of her last memories of sight is the Lion King. So that has been, it seems like a circle of life to go back there.
Right.
But at the same time, she's sharing that with the world through video. So she's moving through her own obstacles. She's embracing her emotions, finding the hope, and then sharing that with the world. So there's so many layers to what she's offered us.
Wow. Love that, guys. Listen, we're going to hold it right there, but we're going to take a quick break. But don't worry, we have even more of this coming up on Soulivity today. We're going to be talking a couple more segments with Lucy, talking about that and how it relates to us and us having better lives ourselves. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more of Soulivity Today. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Happy Travelers Tours and Old Vine Wine Tours. Find all of the Satana products at our Go shop at go.soulivity.com.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame. Living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Hey, hello there. We're back with more of Soulivity today. We're talking about extraordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. Specifically, we're talking about and featuring a story from the BBC's Lucy Edwards and on her trip to Africa as a blind person. Here's another great clip.
When I first lost my sight, it felt like my world had shrunk forever. But now I'm embarking on a great big African adventure in Kenya. With the help of my cane and a guide, I'll tackle some challenging terrain. And you were using my cane, weren't you?
It's the toughest thing I've ever done.
Come face to face with the effects of rhino poaching.
You know, he's meant to teach people a lesson. He's meant to be here to get people to understand that you shouldn't be poaching these beautiful animals.
And end up meters away from some very hungry lions.
Here he is.
Are we going to hear a lion and a buffalo?
Yes. He wanted to hunt.
But the real highlight of my trip will be experiencing what's been called one of the great spectacles of the natural world, the Great Migration.
So this is the 8th wonder of the world.
Each year, tourists from around the globe flock to see over 1.5 million wildebeest, risk their lives, avoiding predators like lions and crocodiles, as they make their way from the Serengeti in Tanzania to the Masai Mara in Kenya in search of fresh grass. But how can someone like me experience a must-see spectacular like this? Well, I'm going to try and find the answer to how does a blind girl go on safari?
I love it. 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 Oh my gosh. I highly encourage everyone to go and read about Lucy's story, but also read about her adventure in Africa as well. There's a 2-part video series that's available on YouTube from the BBC. Guys, when I was thinking about today's show, I wanted to tie it to like how it's important for us to kind of set goals for ourselves and achieve things. Mm-hmm. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys was, you know, why is it so important for us to achieve things that specifically force us to stretch? Because this was a stretch for her. And look at the beauty and the wonder and the experience that she had because she did it, right? Sheila, I'm going to go to you first. What do you think? What say you?
Well, you know, yeah, she was going out of her comfort zone and following something that was clearly in her heart that she always wanted to do. And she could have sat back and said, okay, I wanted to do that, but I have this limitation of not having sight. And so it's not worth it for me to do it. But by looking into her heart and finding that, you know, if it is something your heart is calling you to, I think that's, to me, more important than achieving goals. It's when your heart is calling you to live life live it to its fullest and find ways to do that. And one of the powerful moments for me that they alluded to was when she walked those stairs down to the waterfall, which had to have been very, very frightening. But the reward of being able to sit there and hear that water and imagine it and feel it on her cheek was worth the accomplishment. And in doing that, she brought another person with her who got to push past his fears.
Right, right. What are you thinking about this, D'Angelo?
Two things. I think Lucy is also showing the guide to choose joy, to see the joy in his mundane of, showing tours probably every day of his life to tourists.
Right.
But also Lucy's choosing joy. And I often say when I'm going through something or anyone's going through something, choose joy. And hopefully you'll get allies around you to help you accomplish that. And obviously she has that with her family and whoever the camera person is. She has that component. She has that support system. And I think choosing joy is the first step, and then having a support system to help you execute it is the most important as well.
You guys are so brilliant. That's why I love having you on here. Because of the fact that I think that you both are bringing out two real dimensions of the importance of letting yourself be all that you were meant to be, right? And that takes some courage, right? And courage is nothing more than overcoming fear, right? And that when you do that and you bring joy into it, right? Like if I'm doing this, not only am I going to experience the joy from experiencing that, but I'm going to enjoy the joy through the process of doing this for myself. Because I'm saying I love myself. I love myself so much that I'm willing to come out of my comfort zone and do these things. Magnificent. We've got one more clip that we're going to show with Lucy, just to kind of level set some things too about her story before we go to break. She was not born blind. She could see up until the age of 17. And because of a genetic disorder, she lost her sight slowly over time. She's also a beauty blogger, so that's why her makeup looks astounding. And as I said before, she's a regular on the Travel Channel. The Travel Show on BBC, where they're going everywhere. I love that show. I love it. I watch it all the time. We'll probably feature some other people in the future. But guys, man, this is so wonderful. I'm glad we're sharing the story today. Everyone, we're going to take another quick break. We're going to have more with Soulivity today, but we'll be back in 2 minutes. Hi there, this is Brian with Soulivity.com. I want to share some exciting news about our new Aspire Academy by Soulivity. Now, you probably want to know what the Aspire Academy by Soulivity is. Well, it exclusively connects you with people around the globe and who share the intense desire to improve themselves and create a better life for themselves today. There's classes, there's workshops, there's live events, and even more exclusively just for you. You see, I wanted you to have a safe space where you could grow, you can learn, and it would empower you in all aspects of your life, including your mind, your body, and your soul. So how do you get started? Well, it is so easy. First of all, the best part, joining Aspire Academy is absolutely free. Just click on the Join Now button, sign up, and begin your journey. As a special part of this invitation to you, there are some free courses that are available for you to try from our amazing roster of coaches and collaborators. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your support and being with us along our journey of expansion. I hope you enjoyed the Aspire Academy by Soulivity today. Start the process. Learn more about your passion, your purpose, and how to live a higher quality life. And we're back with more of Soulivity today. We are talking about extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. Here's another great clip from the extraordinary BBC's Lucy Edwards on her trip to Africa.
Kenya has been at war for decades. Its enemy? The poachers who prey on its precious wildlife.
Possible route in and possible route out.
Old Pajetta Conservancy's Canine Unit are just one of the many groups across Africa taking up the fight against poaching. This illegal trade has threatened the very existence of animals like these. At the endangered species enclosure at Old Pajetta, Will and I have been brought to meet mother and daughter, Najin and Fatu, the last surviving 2 northern white rhinos on Earth.
So on the here it's very soft on the ears.
On the ears.
Come. There you
Who's
go.
this?
This is Najin.
Hello, Najin.
Come on, Mama. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Come on. Move back a little bit. There you go. And then at the back here, it's a little bit rough. If you touch at the back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At least you're able to lay your hands on what is the last of a being on the planet. It's a Saturday, and I hope it doesn't happen again to any other species.
And why are they so rare, James?
It's basically poaching, which has just been driven by human greed, and greed in different forms. Greed for power, greed for the medicinal aspects. Someone was being made to believe traditionally that if they drink a rhino horn, it's a cure. For cancer, they can pay any amount to get a small piece of rhino horn.
But that's
and
not
in
true.
the black market, a kilo of rhino horn is now selling to something more than $60,000 US. If you imagine a rhino, that's a lot of money and a lot of business in that.
Whew, guys. Whew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Powerful story. So many dimensions to it too.
Poaching.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that when Lucy decided to go for it and go to Africa, that her willingness to do so brought her an experience way more than what she thought she was going to receive. Including learning about the poaching and being around these rhinos. I really wanted to kind of focus on because, those 2 rhinos, I mean, they're the last of a species, which was so sad.
Wow.
One aspect that I wanted to kind of bring on to the show today, in terms of like, we're talking about goals, dreams, living from your heart, extending yourself to seize the opportunity to experience higher levels of joy in your life. I did some research and I found that the top, you guys are probably going to guess this already, the top reason that people fail at achieving that is fear.
Mm.
And what's interesting is the fear goes both ways. It's fear of success and failure, which was interesting.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right? What do you guys think about that?
Sheila, you want to go for it?
Well, when you said, our biggest obstacle is fear, I went right to the fear of success, which is sometimes more frightening than the fear of failure, because it changes our paradigm and it moves us into a new vibrational existence that sometimes upheavals relationships. So, it's easy to not do something because people around you are frightened, or, to stay in the attitude of don't try and you won't fail. But to move forward out of your circle, and to take that initiative to do something that shines the spotlight on you as a success in any type of form can be life-changing.
I totally agree. D'Angelo, what are you thinking about now?
Yeah, it is about fear of success most times, or just taking that leap of faith, right? Like, Sheila, what you do with your seminars and your coaching and just guiding people. I'm sure there's a lot of fear that comes with that, with connecting with your clients, right? And guiding them, and that they're open to listening. Same thing with Soulivity. We want to connect with people and really bring light to their day. So there's a lot of fear in all of that is successful, number one. And number two is just like Lucy. She just jumped in, and I say to myself as well, jump in. Sometimes there's a net, sometimes there's not.
and
sometimes the net has a hole in it.
Yeah, and I want to add to that too, that at the end of the day, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. When I find, as we're coming up on break again, I find that when just as both of you were saying, when I release the fear and I stretch out and I have the courage to reach for what my heart is desiring, even though I still may be fearing of the unknown, of being hurt or what other people are going to say, it always works itself out. It always works itself out, because there's something I think that we're tapping into, what I would say is grace, right? Spiritual grace. Right, that the universe says, "Oh, you're stretching, you're going for it. So, as part of this, here's grace that I'm going to bestow upon you, so that you'll understand that you're on the right track and there's nothing that can really harm you." Right.
Right.
That's all in your head. Wow. Loving this, guys. Loving this. Listen, we got one more break to go, but we're going to take this short break, kind of recoup from seeing those beautiful rhinos who are endangered, and because I'm getting a little emotional myself. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have even more with Soulivity Today. Be right back. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Assume control over your weight and broader health with the 80 Bites program by Physical Mind Institute.
For 50 years, we've been told, load up your plate with veggies. Load them up. Because all this spinach, look at it, all the spinach is only 100 calories. But avoid fat, because a tiny sliver of butter is also 100 calories. So spinach is good, butter is bad, right? But not today. Now we're told, put butter on everything, even in your coffee. Why? Because fat doesn't spike insulin, as carbs do. And stretching the stomach with all those veggies unbalances our digestive hormones. So eat healthy today means fat, fasting, Stomach control, right here's the stomach. Forget calories. Hormones rule, and 80 bites is the solution.
And we're back with more of Soulivity today. We're talking about, the extraordinary, doing extraordinary things. I love that we're doing that today. Guys, I wanted to ask you this question specifically because I think that it's an important one around giving people something to take away, right? I think people always need that one bit, that one kernel or crisp that they can say, okay, I got that one. I'm going to put that one in my pocket and use that. What are some ways that we can empower ourselves to really reach for the stars? And Sheila, I'll go to you first.
The first thing that comes to mind for me is to follow our joy and our inner knowing, our heart, however you word that, because reaching for the stars is something different for everyone, and there's nothing we need to accomplish as humans. So if you are happy and content and just basking and enjoying in life, you don't have to push yourself. If that's okay too. But if there's something that you are longing for that maybe you push to the side and you're not sure if it's worth the risk, then I say, take the steps that you need, one step at a time, to reach towards that, and surround yourself with people who can support that. We sometimes share things with the people who are closest to us, and they're not always the people who are most ready to receive our desire to reach further. So make sure that you're aware of who you share this with, and surround at least that part of your life with people who can support it. And then if the people who are in your life that can't support it are still important to you, make sure you just say, I acknowledge the fear and I'm okay. I'm moving in this direction, because it is love. Fear is also a form of love, not the highest form of love, but it is in there. So it doesn't mean people are trying to sabotage you.
I love it. D'Angelo, what are you thinking about this? What are some ways that you kind of tell people how to do this?
Sheila, that's interesting that you talk about oversharing with people that may not have your best interests at heart, but they love you, and I practice concealment and restriction in my life, meaning that I don't overshare. And when I do share, it means it's done. So I would say to our audience is to really, like Nike says, just do it. Just do it. Don't wait, because I can tell you many times there have been places I wanted to travel to, and once I got there, I was like, what took me so long? So it's really about leaning into our desires and our dreams, and know that there will be successes and failures, period.
I love it. When I just put this article in the chat around, why people fail to achieve their goals. And there's some really good, deep spiritual things that are in there that kind of go beyond like the goal thing. And it says, when it comes to goals, there are two categories, right? Be goals and do goals. In other words, who do you want to be, or what do you want to achieve? And those are two different things, right? Sometimes they can kind of come together and meld. But they said within each category, there's 4 areas of goals: wealth, health, relationships, and self-fulfillment. So any goal you set for yourself will fall into one of these areas. And so what I'd say today is kind of use what D'Angelo and Sheila have brilliantly kind of put forth, and kind of start letting yourself gel and be in that feeling of beingness, because I think that's where it all begins. I mean, we talk a lot about be, do, have on Soulivity, and I think it starts with, okay, what's the essence of who you want to be, regardless of material wealth. So you take that out to the side and say, okay, what kind of person do I want to embody? And then that's a starting point. And I love that. Just do it, as D'Angelo says. Just do it. Start the process of cultivating that beingness within you. And you don't have to do this alone, right, guys? I mean, you don't have to do this alone. There's resources. There's other people out here, Sheila was saying, that are like-minded, that will be here to support you along this part of your experience, your life experience, your journey as you go through life. And so, yeah, I mean, just do it. Get into the feeling of what it means to be your authentic self, like that deep person, not who you think, you ought to be, which is different. We're kind of taught by our parents and social society, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think that's my little 2 cents on there that I would put on there. Got a couple minutes. Any final thoughts, Sheila, around this that you're thinking of?
Well, I feel blessed to have experienced both a Kenya safari and experiencing that through Lucy and her perspective, because it opened my heart on a new level. And it reminds me of yesterday when we were talking with Helena about sometimes you can travel vicariously through another person. And it was a perfect example of that. I feel like I have experienced it in a new way.
I love it. D'Angelo, what about you, man?
I'm happy. Thank you for sharing Lucy's story, period. I love it. Love it. Thank you.
Yeah. I think that's the whole purpose, right, behind doing this show today. A different kind of Wellness Wednesday for us, where we're getting that nourishment. I mean, again, it reminds us that we can all be inspirational to each other, and there are really extraordinary people that are doing stuff around the world that we can draw from in our own lives. And it's not just because she's blind or anything like that. It's deeper than that. It's her willingness to go out and do something that she's always wanted to do and experience something that she knows innately is going to lift her up spiritually, right? I mean, she's forever changed. She's forever changed from this. And so it's a beautiful experience. So little time, so much to talk about. We're going to take another quick break, everyone. And when we come back, we'll have more of Soulivity Today in just a second.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Soulivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So tune in every Wednesday right here on Soulivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
6 years ago when I started Soulivity, my vision was to support everyone in improving their life through the discovery of their passion and purpose, so they could become the best version of themselves, to battle fear and ignorance, and create a better world today. Get inspired to live your passion and purpose. Visit Soulivity.com now.
Well, I'm glad that you made it here for our show today. We hope that you go out and start believing that you are so worthy of both setting and achieving the goals of your heart. So let's get to some Soulivity shameless plugs. I have to say that every time because it's so important to me. Both
You
of
should
you
just
have
record
some.
it.
I know, right? Click, click, and just like play it,
Right.
and then it just does its thing. You both have some wonderful, wonderful things that you are presenting to our audience. Some things that maybe they can use to start their journey of just doing it and seizing joy in their life. I'll start with you, Sheila. You've got something incredible that's actually starting today, correct? With Consciously
Um,
Awesome Gnostic
it,
Adventure.
Consciously Awesome Gnostic Adventures. It does say sign up by today, but you still have a little bit of time. We kick off actually on Sunday. So
Yay!
if you are out there and you want to take the adventure of your life without leaving your house, right? You can open your imagination and access all the levels of consciousness that are available to you in the most fun way possible. So check out my website, SheilaApplegate.com. It's the banner right when you get there. You can also sign up to have a virtual cup of coffee with me free to talk about how it would specifically help you in your life right now.
And this is also something that you can also sign up for, right? Where you can also sign up for some soul connection sessions with you.
Absolutely. If you want to start with an individual session, one-on-one, just look at the Work with Sheila. It's under Soul Connection Sessions and use the code SOUL23 to get $44 off your first session.
Woohoo! I love it. I love it. And D'Angelo, the art of pivoting is coming up, and everybody better go and register now. I'm going to beat them up. No, I'm just kidding.
Sheila, I love that Sheila, you have Gnostic Adventure. That's interesting. I love that.
It is.
My offering,
Thanks.
right? My offering is the Art of Pivoting on October 30th, and it's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it's really about pivoting in one's life, whether it's professional or personal, and what it takes. And it's interesting that what we listen to and watch today is really about pivoting and taking leaps of faith. So think about that, and I hope you join me.
Fantastic. And you've got some really cool items on Your Favorite Things shop, which I think we ought to just name it Your Favorite Things shop.
Yeah.
But can you tell people what's something that's on there that you'd like to tell people about?
I mean, there's a lot of things, but Tata Harper Skincare is one of my favorite plant-based skincare brands. But I have everything, not only just beauty products, but also menswear, clothing, home goods, you name it. So there's a lot of things that are my favorite things. So check it out.
Fantastic, fantastic. Just want to remind people that if you didn't know, Soulivity today is at soulivity.com. You can watch or listen to all of the shows that we broadcast live. You can download, if you have a podcast provider, you can download those, or you can watch our latest videos, which is so cool. Also, just go to Soulivity, kind of like a tool around. We have a new great story from our resident travel expert, Gaia Marin, with Gaia on the Go, where she's spending a perfect week of sun and surf in Algarve, Portugal. I know, D'Angelo, you and I, we talk about that sometimes. We're like, oh man, I'd love to go to Portugal.
Oh yeah,
just like hang out.
I'm going.
Oh man, and before we get out of here, just want to remind all of you that listen, we're on social media. Please follow us on all the major providers. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Threads. We're on all of them. You can also sign up for our mailing list by visiting to soulivity.com/Soulivity today for more information about what's coming up, like what's happening in our shows and what's coming up on the latest and greatest Soulivity Todays. Wow, so much great fun here. Glad that you were here to enjoy our hot topic for today. The extraordinary, doing extraordinary things. More excitement coming up with other topics coming up in the future. Wow, guys. I mean, this always goes by so quickly. Thanks to both of you for being here as well, Sheila and
Thank
D'Angelo.
you.
It was a joy.
Appreciate.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is how we do it, right? And thanks to all of you for being with us. This is a great journey, and we appreciate you. If you would do me a favor, when you go to the Soulivity.com, Soulivity Today site, check out our partners, Old Vine Wine Tours and 80 Bites by Physical Mind. They have some amazing products and services that they're providing right now, especially if you want to get away and you're thinking about going someplace in California, in the Sonoma region there, or if you're at home and you want to do some better things for yourself. 80 Bites is a great program to do that, to help diet and weight control. So check them out at soulivity.com. Listen, on behalf of all of us, I just want to say thanks for joining us for this edition of Soulivity Today. We hope that you come back and join us every weekday, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern for our live broadcast on Soulivity TV and our social media partners. Or you can listen to us and watch us on KMET 1490 AM radio or .com at 8 a.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday, for all of you out on the southern coast of California. Great partners out there. Thank you, KMET, for all of your support. Appreciate and love you so much. On behalf of myself, Sheila, and D'Angelo, and everybody here at Soulivity, thanks again for joining us. We're wishing you a life full of passion and purpose and support so that you can create your best life today. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Take care.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved. Six years ago, when I started Soulivity, my vision was to support everyone in improving their life through the discovery of their passion and purpose, so they could become the best version of themselves. To battle